Right guys, welcome to another video. Hope you're all keeping well, and I won't mention the Grand National. Right, okay. If you are by chance an avid Universal Monsters fan, love them as much as I do, you're going to like the contents of this video, guys. I've got two awesome books here. They're virtually encyclopedias of two iconic Universal movies. So without further ado, I'm just going to show you them both. I'm going to talk about each one. Yeah, okay. So we've got The Road to Dracula, and we've got The Bride of Frankenstein, the definitive history of the horror classic. There you go, guys. Awesome, awesome books, yeah. When I saw these on Amazon, I thought to myself, I've got to have them. Yeah. Okay, then, guys, I'm going to start with the first one here, The Road to Dracula. I'm just going to put this down here for a second. The Road to Dracula, from Gothic novel to horror classic, written by Christopher Lock, who also wrote the other one. Okay, then, guys, so there's a fantastic portrait of the late, great Bela Lugosi. My number one favourite Dracula until Christopher Lee came along, yeah. So actually Christopher Lee and Bela Lugosi are my two favourite Draculas. So there you go, yeah. An absolute mine of information. I am Dracula. I bid you welcome. There you go, guys, yeah. Fantastic, yeah. As I say, when I saw these on Amazon, I thought I've got to have them. I won't read you all this, guys. I'll just read a bit of it. Irish author Bram Stoker was a genuinely gentle man known for his kindness and charming demeanour. And yet, from deep within his subconscious, he conceived the most horrific, malevolent literary character of all time, Dracula. A 500-year-old vampire who feasts on the blood of the living to maintain his presence in the modern world. Stoker's 1897 Gothic novel of the same name has inspired playwrights, producers, directors and performers for more than 125 years. Now, this book is a literary roadmap, a methodical historic exploration that dives into the 34-year accounts that led from Bram Stoker's novel to the production of Universal's horror classic. It begins with Stoker's inspirations to write the book, then encompasses the motives of dramatist Hamilton Dean to develop a play that successfully toured England. This is a thoroughly researched book and will not only reaffirm the true chronological history of Dracula, but it will provide previously unknown insights into its narrative in a positive, enjoyable and unbiased approach. So there you go, guys. That's part of the blurb for this fantastic book by Christopher Lock, The Road to Dracula, from Gothic novel to horror classic. Okay then, guys, I'm just going to show you inside. I won't show you every single page because we'll be here all afternoon. So there you go, guys. So if you're a fan of the Universal Monsters, I've got a quote here from John Carpenter, guys. I've got to read it to you. This is from John Carpenter. Horror is a universal language. We're all afraid. We're born afraid. We're all afraid of things, death, disfigurements, loss of a loved one, everything that I'm afraid of, you're afraid of, and vice versa. So everybody feels fear and suspense. We were little kids once, and so it's taking that basic human condition and emotion and just effing with it and playing with it. You can invent new horrors, John Carpenter. So true, so true. Okay then, guys, so onwards into the book. Famous poster there of the first Dracula movie, guys, starring Bela Lugosi. And yeah, absolute mine of information. So you've got the contents here, guys. So you've got, there you go, I'll just read you the contents. So you've got the foreword by Matthew Mungle, preface by Melvin M. Sobel, introduction, chronology, 1897, the Gothic novel, 1924, the British play, 1927, the Broadway play, 1930, the Universal film, 1931, the premiere, post-release aftermath, conclusion about the author. So fantastic book, guys, on the movie Dracula, and as I say, other snippets of information as well. There he is, guys, the man who created the most fierce and terrifying vampire lord of all, Bram Stoker. Yeah, created Count Dracula. Wrote other horror stories as well besides. One of them was The Duel of the Seven Stars, which I've never read. But yeah, great photos, guys. A nice, easy print to read. If you're a Dracula enthusiast, you've got to get this book, guys. Especially if you love this. It's even got actual notes as well from Stoker. Fantastic, guys. This is like a museum piece as well, this. You know, I love books like this where they have actual old cuttings and that of notes and that and press cuttings and that. I'll say I won't show you every page. It'll be here all day. I'll just show you some of the pictures and that and some of the text. Nosferatu. But yeah, fantastic book. Max Schreck. Bela Lugosi, of course, played Count Dracula quite a few years on the stage before he made the movie, you know, the Todd Browning movie. So yeah, fantastic. I hope this guy does a book on the Wolfman. I'd love to see one on the Wolfman. But this is fantastic, this. There's the Broadway play, all the crowds going to see it. They built more theatre in Los Angeles where the Broadway play began its extended Californian run, guys. Just shows you how popular the monster Dracula is, right from his, you know, his initial conception. They are actual cutting from the Daily News about the stock market. So it's all here, guys, all circulating around how Dracula was created and brought to, you know, brought to a novel and a silver screen. It's all here, guys. It's absolute. This is an absolute encyclopedia on Dracula. It really is. Yeah, I'd love to see one on Christopher Lee as well. The great Lon Chaney. Yeah, fantastic. There he is, Bailey himself. Listen to them, the children of the night. What music they make. Terrible impression, I know, guys. But hasn't that been voiced all countless times over the years and that, you know, making stuff like some people like a kind of parody about Bela Lugosi. Don't think it's been repeated that time, but it was until Christopher Lee came along. He was my Dracula, definitely. Oh, there's one there from The Man Who Laughs. I haven't seen that movie. I've heard good things about it. A Snap from The Man Who Laughs, yeah. Accordingly, well, what I've heard, based on the Joker, Batman's foe, the Joker was based on this character. I'll have to check that movie out. Yeah, but great, guys. And we're moving on to the setting now, the Universal movie. Fantastic book, and here we go, guys, all about the movie. Everything you want to know about the shooting of the classic, the Lugosi Dracula movie. It's all here, guys. It's all here. So, guys, I'm going to move on now to the Frankenstein book. Yeah, so there you go. Oh, that's a great one, that, Bela Lugosi. You are at my command. Oh, wow. Fantastic. It can't be the Universal Monsters, guys. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. Fantastic. Helen Chandler. Very pretty girl, Helen Chandler. So yeah, so there you go, guys. That's the first book. Well, that's a great movie. That great shot of Boris Karloff as the evil Dr. Gustav Namon, where he revives Count Dracula, granted played by John Carradine in The House of Frankenstein. Fantastic shots, these guys. Okay then, guys, so that's the Road to Dracula book. I'm going to move on now to the Bride of Frankenstein encyclopedic tome. So, there we go. This is slightly bigger, guys, than the other one. It's slightly, yeah, quite more pages in it. My all-time favourite horror sequel, guys, The Bride of Frankenstein. And I know I speak for many, many other horror fans when I say in regards to what the favourite sequel is in the Universal canon. Yeah, The Bride of Frankenstein, a definitive history of the horror classic. I'll just, again, guys, just like the previous book, I'll just read you a bit of the back, because it's quite long, actually, as you can see. It's quite weirdy. You can always freeze your cameras and take that in if you want. The monster demands a mate, and don't we know it's one of the most provocative sections in Mary Shelley's 1818 Gothic novel. Frankenstein is the creature's demand for a mate. And despite its bewitching undertones, the narrative of A Bride for the Monster was not part of Universal's 1931 classic film of the same name. So when the studio explored the opportunity for a sequel, they returned to Shelley's novel, resulting in the greatest horror film of the golden age of Hollywood. Yeah, definitely wouldn't disagree with that. With the electrifying performances from Boris Karloff, Colin Clive, Ernest Thesiger and Elsa Lanchester, combined with the genius of James Whale, the cinematography of John Mescal, and the makeup of Jack Pierce, one can't help but wonder how Bride could not have failed, but almost did. Delays in script developments, performance, physical and personal issues, etc. Yeah, so in the nearly 90 years since its release in the spring of 1935, Bride of Frankenstein is still regarded as the apex of Universal's monster movies. And despite Whale's preference not to be regarded as a director of horror, Bride is an undeniable masterpiece, yeah, definitely, yeah. So it's all here, guys. Everything you want to know about The Bride of Frankenstein. So let's dip into it, shall we? I'll try not to waffle on too much, guys. I'll just show you the, you know, previews of the content and that. So it'll be up to you to decide whether you want to buy it for yourself and add it to your collection. Yeah. Fantastic. I've always wanted a book on the, you know, a book on The Bride of Frankenstein. Indeed, on the Dracula Lugosi movie, and I've got it now. My dreams come true, yeah. So I've got to watch out for more books by this author, Christopher Lock, because he knows his onions when it comes to the Universal models. There we go. To quote the cunning Dr. Pretorius as he raises his glass of gin. To a new world of gods and monsters. Oh, iconic scene, guys. There's some great quotes in these Universal movies. There really is, and there she is. The bride who sadly rejects the monster. Yeah. But fantastic, yeah. The greatest sequel ever made, in my opinion. The Bride of Frankenstein. I've watched it many, many times. I think it's the horror movie I've watched, aside from Dracula, Christopher Lee, and The Wolfman. I think this is the other horror movie I've watched most times in my life. The Bride of Frankenstein. I just love it, guys. Karloff's performance, especially when he's in the blind man's hut and that, and he learns to speak. Oh, so many scenes, guys, and they're not to the crucifixion as well, where you string the poor monster up and that. You know, it's oh yeah, fantastic. Oh, that's a great one there. Karloff in his monster makeup. And there he is, Jack Pierce applying the, you know, the iconic makeup. Yeah, really fantastic books these are. I really made up with them, I really am. Yeah. I'll say, hope he does one of the Wolfman as well, you know. Have you made up? The Bride of Frankenstein. Oh, I can't wait to get stuck into these, guys, I tell you. Absolute mine of information. There's the sad rejection scene where she shuns the monster. And you see how he basically goes like, she hate me like others. I love the way Karloff, when he talks like the monster, he goes, she hate me like others. You know, it's fantastic, like, the way he voices the monster and that. Nobody can play the Frankenstein monster quite like the late, great Boris Karloff. Yeah, fantastic, yeah. That's a great scene, that, where he emerges from the windmill and that. Terrifies that old lady. Yeah, I love The Bride of Frankenstein. That was one of the horror movies that responsible for making me a lifelong horror fan. That's a great one, that, guys, where he has all, Dr. Pretorius has all the little images in his bottles and that. Yeah, there's a bit of everything in The Bride of Frankenstein, guys. There's sadness, there's humour, there's horror, you know, thrills and chills galore. There's everything in it. It's in my opinion, it's a perfect horror movie. Oh, the scene in the blind man's hut where he learns to speak, and the blind man says, you know, he says, like, basically, I've been alone for years. I've longed for a friend, and I've finally got one. Yeah, he's got the Frankenstein monster as his friend, but he doesn't know that, does he? That's a great one, that. I've got the music going through my head now, like Bally High. You know, when we first unveiled The Bride of Frankenstein after Colin Clive and Ernest Thesiger, I've basically created it. They had that tune, don't they, like Bally High? You know the one I mean, and that. Obviously, I can't hum it for copyright reasons, but very, very well done. Yeah, the musical score as well. And there you go, guys. The sad scene where she rejects him. Yeah. Yeah. But, oh, yeah. I could sit here all afternoon spouting superlatives about The Bride of Frankenstein and that, you know. Definitely right up there. One of the greatest horror movies ever made, The Bride of Frankenstein. Yeah. 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 Oh, there's a shot of Linda Blair, The Exorcist there. They're comparing her expression to the Exorcist, yeah. There's James Whale. Great photograph of James Whale, guys. But yeah, okay then, guys, so I'm going to wrap the video up now. So as I say, yeah, if you love The Bride of Frankenstein and you love Dracula, the Lugosi movie, I strongly recommend you add these two magnificent tomes to your horror book, you know, your horror movie book collection. They're fantastic, and it speaks for itself, really, doesn't it? You know, as I said, I've just showed you both, the interiors of both basically speak for themselves, how fantastic how well put together these books are, you know, in every conceivable way. He did a great job, the author, with these books, you know, Christopher Lock, and he will definitely be watching out for more books from Christopher Lock, especially if they pertain to the Universal monsters. And as I say, I'd love to see him do one of the Wolfman. Okay then, guys, I'm going to wrap the video up now. So are you a Universal horror fan? What's your favourite monster? Mine's beyond doubt Frankenstein, closely followed by the Wolfman, Cheney, and Dracula Lugosi. But yeah, I'd love to know. Let's get a good discussion going about the Universal monsters. And indeed, if you've got either or both of these books, let me know what you think of them. Okay, then, guys, I'm gonna go now. If you like the video, please feel free to share, subscribe, comments, and all going well. I should be back again very, very soon. But again, guys, I can't praise these books enough. It's two of the greatest books on horror I have ever bought. Okay then, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Take care, and I hope you've done the big winner, but no more about the National. Ta-ta for now. I'm going to jump off. If you enjoyed watching this video, guys, you might like to check out my website at www.alantoner.com. You'll be able to find out a little bit more about my work as a writer and all the books I have published to date. Thanks for watching.